orange man bad and China scary. Fund the police and grow our military. Ignore the fact that Biden's dying. Keep hammering on how Trump is lying. The media is where we vent and manufacture your consent. We just want you all to feel much better before you remember to vote in November. And don't listen to those commies say it's Joe, Joe. It's Joe, Joe, it's Joe. But just admit that it is Joe. It's over, Joe. It's over. Tell Joe to go, it's Joe. Just vote blue, no matter who. Either way, the whole world's future rests on you. Your APAC has us under their control. Fascism won't take root if you play your role. Ultimately, it's not our call, 'cause climate change will kill us all. Eventually, anyway, vote for Joe. I don't want to hear you say it's over, Joe. It's Joe, Joe, it's Joe, but just admit that it is Joe. It's over, Joe. It's over. It's Joe. It's Joe. It's over, Joe. It's Joe. Just admit that it's Joe. Oh, oh, Joe. It's over, Joe. Oh, 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 it's over. In the heart of Europe, a nation stood strong, Yugoslavia. Under leadership of a visionary man, Joseph Tito, the leader of our land. Oh, Yugoslavia forever, our spirit never dies. In our hearts we hold the memories, reaching for the skies. Tito's legacy lives on in every heart and soul. United we stand as one nation. Oh, hey, yeah. By my brotherhood, diversity embrace, with unity and peace, we found our grace. From Slovenia to Macedonia, Bosnia to Serbia, together we thrive. No obstacle we couldn't sever. Oh. In the heart of Europe, a nation stood strong, Yugoslavia, where all could belong. Under the leadership of a visionary man, Joseph Tito, the leader of our land. Yugoslavia forever, our spirit never dies. In our hearts we hold the memories, reaching for the skies. Oh, Tito's legacy lives on in every heart and soul. United we stand as one nation. Oh, hey, yeah. Yeah, yeah. Through the valleys and mountains, we'll stand side by side. Tito's vision, our eternal God. Yugoslavia forever, spirit never dies. No, it don't. Our whose legacy lives on.
Welcome to History Live, the only live history news show on the internet. We are back in the studio, History News Studio, and we are ready to give you the updatest news. We'll go ahead and just say that of what's being developed recently in the history community. We are always finding out more and more about history and what has been going on. What is going to change the history books? Today, we're going to explore about 10 new findings in recent days that may change those history books. Welcome to History Live with your host, Mr. Terry. All right, welcome to the show, though. How is everybody doing? Looks like we got a good crowd in here today. We are multi-streaming on a whole bunch of platforms. We are on, I got to fix the tie. I'm going to be telling you, I hope you guys are ready. You guys bring your notebooks, bring your notes. Hey, things I care about. Great channel. If you guys have been watching, I hope you've been watching my channel, because you've been watching Things I Care About. Thank you so much. Can we talk about recent politics? Heck no, this is a history stream. Screw that. All right. If you want to go be a politics nerd, go to Destiny stream or something. I don't know. This is a history. We're talking about stuff that already happened, not make up stuff about the present. Okay. All right. Anyway, today's leading story we brought to you in just a second. All right. You may interact with this. Super chats are live on the Mr. Terry History channel, but we are multi-streaming. We are also on the gaming channel. Make sure you sub over on the gaming channel for some more gaming. We're going to do some gaming maybe tonight, definitely tomorrow. We'll be over there. We're also over on Twitch right now, broadcasting live on Mr. Terry History over on Twitch. We're also on X, formerly known as Twitter. If you want to follow my account, Mr. Terry History is there. We're even on Instagram live at the moment. So we are all over the place. The biggest audience, of course, being here on YouTube. All right. With that, yes, you can interact. Super chats are on. If you'd like to support the channel and talk about the stuff we're going to be talking about today, I'd be happy to read your messages if you'd like to support the channel. All right. To the surprise of nobody, our first piece of news today. If you know anything about Roman history, this should come as absolutely no surprise to you. Some recent findings in Pompeii have shown some more graffiti and some more writing. And should not be a surprise that a lot of the stuff that they found was violent in nature in the style of writing. Because almost everything we're finding with the graffiti and writings out of Pompeii is definitely not PG. So let me tell you the story. So the new sketches that were recently found in Pompeii are believed to depict events that children had witnessed rather than just imagined. Archaeologists have uncovered charcoal sketches drawn by children in Pompeii depicting possibly violent fights that they may have witnessed. The sketches of gladiator stick figures were discovered during excavations in recent months in Pompeii, which was a once thriving city that was destroyed famously by Mount Vesuvius over 2,000 years ago. Archaeologists also found the outlines of 3 small hands, 2 figures playing with a ball, a hunting scene, possibly featuring a boar, and 2 fighters, of whom is lying flat on the ground. The director of the site, Gabriel Zuchtrol, you just saw on screen, said that the line drawings found on the wall of a house known as the Colonnade Cenacle were probably done by children aged 6 to 7. Now, psychologists from the Federico University in Naples believe the sketches depicted events that children had indeed witnessed rather than just imagined. So in Pompeii, even young children exposed to extreme violence between humans and animals in the sands of the ancient city's amphitheater, said Zuchtrigel. Other discoveries this week included a unique portrait of a hooded child with a small dog at his feet, which I hope I could show you here in just a moment. Get out of here, Beyonce. No one cares. All right, here we go. Because we didn't want that. But yes, also include a unique portrait of a hooded child with a small dog at their feet. Now let me show you. So they think this was made by children. As you can see here, handprint from a children. And they were showing some pretty horrific gladiator sites, which also leads us to believe that kids probably were watching gladiator fights as well. Get out of here, ladies. This is history, nerds. But yeah, you can see the kids out here. Okay, they're doing that. They got their, whatever. But yeah, a couple bodies are always they keep finding more and more bodies at Pompeii. But yep, they found more and more very violent things. So I don't know if you can see here. It looks like on the left here we got it like a dude who's got a shield, right? And they're killing stuff. So these gladiator events might have been all ages events. And back to the news desk with Mr. Terry. I hope you're all having a great evening tonight. That was tonight's first story, but don't fret. We have a lot to show you tonight. So that was just coming out of Pompeii. Anybody in the chat been to Pompeii? What have been your thoughts? A weird discovery in France has some historians baffled. And that is the remains of 28 horses. Ancient remains of 28 horses were found in France. Now, were they killed in battle? Or were they possibly sacrificed? That's the question. So we're going to try to find this out right now. So, an archaeological dig in France uncovered over 24 dead horses and left researchers with a puzzling mystery. It's who are these? Who are they? Where did they come from? And why was there such a big grave for them? Pardon me, technical difficulties. So an archaeological dig in France uncovered over 24 dead horses and left researchers with the puzzling mystery. The excavation in central France uncovered several buildings, pits, ditches, and even a pathway from the early Middle Ages, according to a news release from the country's... Oh, why does it say starting soon still? That's not what we want. Oh, that's what we wanted. Back to the Middle Ages, according to a new press release by the country's Archaeological Research Society. So they found 9 pits containing the remains of these horses. Archaeologists used radiocarbon dating to determine the horses lived about 100 BC to 100 in AD. I will show you those here. So within that span of about 200 years. Thank you so much for the super chat from I'm Proud of You. I'm proud of you. Thank you so much for supporting the channel here. So just 2 of the pits have been fully excavated so far. So in one pit, the horses were all found lying on their right sides with their heads to the south, according to the news release. The animals were carefully placed in the pit and organized in 2 rows on 2 different levels. And the evidence shows that the horses were buried simultaneously and very quickly after their death. All the horses were small males over 4 years old and were likely Gaelic livestock. The second pit contains just 2 horses. Let me show you. We have it. Let me go back. Here we go. But those horses were also buried the same way. And another pit was also found to contain 2 adult dogs positioned, carefully placed in the same fashion, but researchers don't know what, if anything, the canine inclusion signifies. While other pits have yet to be extracted fully, researchers have found remains of bones that have allowed them to identify at least 28 horses buried in the site. Two likely options have come for us. One is they were horses that may have fallen in battle and been buried with honor, or they maybe have been sacrificed. They still don't know. We may never know, but nevertheless, a mass grave of horses is indeed peculiar. Again, thanks to everybody for being here, and welcome to History Live, the internet's only live history news show that at least I'm aware of. All right, let's move on to today's next story. But again, thank you to everyone that is showing up. We are on Mr. Terry History on YouTube. We are also on Mr. Terry Gaming, simulcast broadcasting. Make sure you're following Mr. Terry Gaming because I'm going to be doing some more gaming streams as this summer is now going on. Thanks to all the channel members that are out there who will be able to see this new show again later. And we'll also get early access to all of my new videos. Today's video, by the way, did anybody see today's video? Today's video was on the apparent Reddit war that has been going on between Reddit users in the Balkans and over in India. Apparently, it's been a brutal thing that has now culminated and come to a strange ending. So check out today's video here on Mr. Terry History. All right, let's go to the next story. The next story brings us a 4,000 year old discovery. In the UK, there was a 4,000-year-old mysterious Seahenge structure that has finally been decoded. So, what is it exactly that they have found? Well, let's talk about it. So, a 4,000-year-old timber circle on Norfolk Beach dubbed Seahenge was built after a period of extreme climate degradation at the close of the third millennium BC, a new study has found. The mysterious ancient structure was first revealed in 1998 by the shifting sands of Holme next to the beach on Norfolk coast. It consists of an upturned tree stump. You'll get to this after these dumb ads brought to you by the Independent. So anyways, it consists of an upturned tree stump that was surrounded by 55 closely fitted oak posts, as originally built on a salt marsh away from the sea. Now, research estimate that it had been built using timbers dating back to 2049 BC. The strange structure was positioned such that the dunes and mudflats protected it from the sea. A layer of peat, which slowly covered the timbers, also protected them from decay over thousands of years. This, a second adjacent ring centered on two oak logs laid flat, which is also dated the same year. Previous researchers hypothesized that the structures may have been erected to mark the death of an individual. Other theories suggest that they were used for special sky burials, in which the dead would be placed inside to be pecked and carried away by birds. Now, a new paper concludes that Seahenge and the adjacent circle may have been constructed during. Let's find a couple other pictures here. Anyways, so a new paper concludes that Seahenge and the adjacent circle may have been constructed during a bitterly cold climatic period as a ritual to extend the summer and to return to warmer weather. Archaeologist David Nance from the University of Aberdeen said dating of Seahenge timbers showed that they were felled in spring, and it was considered most probable that these timbers were aligned with sunrise on the summer solstice. We know that the period in which they were constructed 4,000 years ago was a prolonged period of decreased atmospheric temperatures and severe winters and late springs, placing these early coastal societies under stress. And the Seahenge's alignment matches with sunrise on the summer solstice, suggesting it mimicked the pen described in folklore for an unfledged cuckoo to keep singing and to extend the summer. Archaeologists suspect that the strange monument structure imitates the winter dwellings of the cuckoo, remembered in folklore, a hollow tree, or the bowers of the other world, represented by the upturned oak stump at its center. All right, so it's meant to, as you can imagine and expect and just assume, that it was going to extend in the winter and bring the summer. I mean, you might as well be building that stuff. Another hypothesis has also come around from chat from Dan the Man Legend, who has now been subbed to the channel for 41 months. And by subbed, I actually mean channel membership. Thank you so much, Dan. And his hypothesis is that it was, in fact, aliens. 1 in chat if it was aliens. 2 if it was humans. 1 if it was aliens. This stream not brought to you by Coke Zero. But I am drinking it. Coke, hook me up. All right. I'm now going to turn it over to my co-host, Craig Strong, who's going to be doing one of his segments known as Craig's News. Over to you, Craig.
Population, healthcare.
Craig.
I seen a guy got handcuffed today because he was making a ruckus on the bus.
Craig's News. Breaking news. Something behind me just exploded.
People are complaining of the price of fuel in the US and Canada.
Craig's News. Good evening and welcome to Craig's News. Our top story tonight. Tomorrow is my mom's birthday and preparations are well underway. Here with the report, it's Craig. Thanks, Craig. I'm down here with the cake it's my mom's cake. It's not my cake, you guys. And she's left a note here that says, don't touch. So we're not going to touch it because it's not our birthday. It's my mom's birthday. Back to you, Craig. Wow, that looks pretty delicious. In other news, are my timeout conditions too harsh? You decide. Let's join our field reporter Craig Jones once again for an update on Cake Watch. I'm just going to get a piece so I know what it tastes like. Because I can't report on this if I don't know what it tastes like. That's ridiculous. Just a small piece, and then I'll smush it back together so it's still a circle, you guys.
Thank you, Craig.
I'll take this.
It's like a mighty good piece of cake there, Craig.
Then we're just gonna, I'm just gonna push this part back together, you guys. So it's still a circle. My mom won't know the difference. And there it is. Boy, sure does look delicious. Can't really blame you for trying that, Greg, because you're just a person, and persons make mistakes. And now it's time for a cat doing something nuts.
Oh!
Okay, now we're going to see this in super slow motion. As you can see, the cat comes up here, knocks over the television, and boom goes the dynamite. Back to you, Craig. Boy, that cat really seems pretty dangerous. I guess now people will understand why I'm afraid of cats, and that cats can be dangerous. Now it's time for another Cake Watch. As you can see, there's less chocolate cake than there was when we first started, but it's still in a circle, which is good news. I'm a little concerned about this because I wasn't supposed to touch the chocolate cake till tomorrow because that's when my mom's birthday is. But once I had a piece of the chocolate cake, it was hard to stop eating the chocolate cake. Back to you, Craig. And now here's meteorologist Craig Storm with the weather. Well, we got this and this. Next up, Cake watch. Okay, you guys, I'm gonna put the cake back. I hope my mom doesn't notice. The good news is there's still some cake left. This just in, there's no more cake. Well, that's it for today. Join us next time when I do an in-depth look on the conditions of my timeout area, which I will be spending some time in, I think, over the next few days. Thank you all for watching.
All right, thanks, Craig.
God bless America.
Thank you, Craig. This was brought to you by Craig's News by Craig Strong. Thank you very much. Also known as Kyle Dunnigan. Check that out on YouTube. All right, thank you. All right, back to the news. Back to the news. A new finding coming out of Panama. So in Panama, archaeologists have found gold. Gold. Archaeologists in Panama find ancient tomb filled with gold treasure and sacrificial victims. Oh boy. How beautiful looking is that right now? And here's the story. Researchers have uncovered an ancient lord's tomb filled with treasure and sacrificial victims at an archaeological park in Panama. Officials revealed on Friday. The tomb, estimated to be about 1,200 years old, marks the area where an elite chief was buried, along with possibly dozens of people who died to accompany him to the beyond. Inside the grave at El Caño Archaeological Park, scientists discovered an array of gold treasures, including bracelets, 2 belts made with gold beads, crocodile-shaped earrings, gold cover sperm whale teeth earrings, and circular gold plates. Archaeologists also unearthed earrings in the shape of a man and a woman, 2 bells, skirts made with dog teeth, and a set of bone flutes. The grave likely belonged to a high-status chief from the local Cocle culture who was in his 30s. Reported by the El Caño Foundation in their Facebook post. So, if that means if you are looking for a little bit more or looking for some actual treasure, it looks like Panama is the place that you want to go. All right. With that, let's move on. More news is now coming out of Rome. Archaeologists have found Roman centurions' letters in an ancient animal cemetery. Pardon. That would be Egypt. There we go. Here's a Roman centurion. Archaeologists found a collection of ancient letters written on papyrus, seemingly featuring correspondence between Roman military commanders, an extremely rare discovery. These documents were uncovered by a team of Polish researchers, along other remains such as Roman coins and ceramics at the site of an ancient animal cemetery. The cemetery, which contains the remains of hundreds of animals, is located on the western outskirts of Berenike, an ancient port located on the Red Sea coast of Egypt. The settlement was found in 3rd century BC by the ancient Greek Ptolemaic dynasty that ruled over Egypt at that time. This kingdom lasted until 30 BC, when the region, including Berenike, came under Roman control. The writing of the papyrus, which I will show you right now, get a better look here for you. Here you go. The writing on the papyrus, a paper-like material used in ancient times, may prove to be an important source of information for researchers. Any newly discovered texts are valuable to science. We can learn directly from them about the daily lives of people thousands of years ago. From Marta Osipinska of the Institute of Archaeology at the University of Wrocław, Poland. They provide knowledge that we can't find on monuments, names, occupations, and what issues preoccupied them, what was important to ordinary people, she said. The discovery of the new text is therefore always an important event for scholars. Prior to these latest discoveries, no ancient papyri had been found at the animal cemetery site, which appears to have been in use between the 1st and 2nd centuries, although archaeologists have previously found numerous ostracons, which are pottery fragments that featured inscriptions. So for Egyptologists and other scientists dealing with antiquity, this is an extremely rare and high caliber discovery, said Osipinska. The papyri are still being carefully read and examined by specialists, but preliminary evidence indicates that they most likely represent letters exchanged between Roman centurions who were commanding officers in the army. They were the ones who looked after the interests of the Roman Empire in remote outposts like Berenike. We know that in one of the letters, there are questions about the prices of various goods. Berenike was an intercontinental port connecting Asia, East Africa, Egypt, Arabia, and the treasures of the whole world of the time flowed through it. Keep finding so much about most famous empire in history in Rome. We keep finding their stuff, and we're finding more and more things really outside of, the particular part of Rome, the founding, I guess you would say, along the Italian peninsula. We find stuff, but it's interesting the stuff that we find in places like Egypt or Turkey or Syria on the outskirts or the fringes, of the Roman Empire. All right, a new reveal, a little bit more modern this time. A letter from Winston Churchill. Before we get to that, we got a channel membership gifted from Dan the Man. Thank you so much for gifting somebody a Mr. Terry History channel membership, which gets you early access to all my videos and access to all old live shows. And yeah, thank you so much. All right, here was the new finding. Let me show you. So, Churchill revealed Churchill's unsent letter that could have changed the course of history. On the eve of D-Day, the wartime prime minister, Winston Churchill, drafted a letter that could have ended Charles de Gaulle's political career. It is a letter that might have changed the course of European history had it been sent. In early 1944, a vast armada was gathering on the south coast of England with the task of liberating France, and despite concerns about leaks from the French camp, the British Prime Minister, Winston Churchill, had invited then General Charles de Gaulle to fly to London on his personal plane from Algiers. On his arrival in Britain, de Gaulle, the leader of the Free French, had been let in on the seismic events that would unfold within hours. The D-Day landings on the beaches of Normandy, which took place 80 years ago next week, meaning actually this week. D-Day, remember, is going to be in 3 days from now on June 6th, by the way. But things did not go to plan. An exasperated Churchill, fuming in his Downing Street study, put pen to paper just hours before the invasion would be underway to draft a letter that would surely end de Gaulle's political career. In the letter, discovered among papers held at the National Archives in Kew ahead of the 80th anniversary commemorations in France next week, he chastises de Gaulle for not wanting to broadcast a speech ahead of the landings and for blocking the dispatch of French liaison officers to accompany the Allied troops into France. The general relented, at least in part, on both of these points, so the 2-page missive was never sent. While Churchill's fury at the time of writing is made clear. He condemns, quote, the heinous character of de Gaulle's action, end quote, and threatens to, quote, make plain to the world the personality of General de Gaulle is the sole and main obstacle between the great democracies of West and the people of France, end quote. General de Gaulle, I regret very much that you have refused to join with the other United Nations concerned in the broadcasts, which are to be delivered at the opening phases of this great and in many ways unique battle, Churchill writes. I have tried very hard on many occasions during 4 years to establish some reasonable basis for friendly comradeship with you. Your action at this juncture convinces me that this hope has no further existence. Churchill continued by saying, if anything could make matters more clear, it is your refusal to allow the 120 French liaison officers who have been so carefully trained to go with the Anglo-American armies into France, and your order to them to desert the effort now being made for liberation. Whatever course they may have or they may take in no way diminishes the heinous character of your action, and I find it my duty to tell you that at the first convenient opportunity, having regard to military operations, I shall make plain to the world that the personality of General de Gaulle is the sole and main obstacle between the great democracies of the West and the people of France, to whose rescue they are coming, no matter what the cost may be. I'm actually kind of disappointed in myself right now, you guys, that I just read that letter of de Gaulle and didn't even use like a cool Winston Churchill voice. I do apologize. I do apologize. I need somebody to read the articles in all the different, like the different dialects and the different accents of all of these. I'll try to do better. For that, I apologize. Churchill concluded in the letter, I could conceive no useful purpose in your staying longer, and that the airplanes will be at your disposal tomorrow night, weather permitting. So, in essence, it looks like in this new discovered letter, Churchill not really down with de Gaulle, especially as D-Day was happening, and that he wasn't planning on doing a big old televised, radio speech, I should say, as literally D-Day and these soldiers coming from the United States, from Britain, from Canada, are coming over and are going to liberate the French. And it seems like de Gaulle is nowhere to be found in kind of, I don't know, just flexing on the Germans with some kind of trash talking like the rest of them are about to do. We'll see. Thank you to Anthony Minimum, $5 super chat. That's the new biggest super chat of the day. Said a new Abelosaurid was discovered in Patagonia near the same place as Carnotaurus. The new dinosaur's name is Coelacanth inacavali. Oh, dude, that's awesome. They find a lot of cool fossils and stuff in Argentina, don't they? Down there in Patagonia. Is that mostly in Argentina there? At least that part. That's super cool. We are a dinosaur friendly stream. We do like the dinosaurs here. We are very supportive of them. So I really appreciate that. Oh, I missed a super chat earlier. I'm so sorry, Anthony. You had one earlier too. I did not mean to. I was right in the middle of the article. It said, would you do a video on the sinking of the Sultana, April 27th, 1865? This event was overshadowed by the Lincoln assassination 12 years later. I'll have to look into that. I know nothing about that. So I know very little about that because it's American Civil War. Well, not because it's American Civil War, it's after the war, but because I have not covered that before. But thank you so much. Two $5 super chats. Thank you so much, Anthony. Hey, if you have anything, Anthony, if you have anything that would be good for me to check out, if you have any good sources or anything about that, be sure to drop it over on the Discord, which brings me to promote the Discord. The Discord is very, very cool. You could screenshot this if you would like. This is an invitation to all of you to join the Discord server, where we all hang out 24/7, talk history, talk shenanigans. But yeah, let's get that. Mods, if we can get If we got a link, let's get down in the chat as well. All right, so Churchill and de Gaulle had beef. Okay, let's see what else. Let's see what we got next. This one is a very interesting one because of the dating of this. There was a discovery in a lake in the United States, and what has blown people away about this, let me show you, is how old it is. A 100-year-old discovery in a U.S. lake leaves experts in shock and awe. Wisconsin historians recently announced the discovery of at least 11 ancient canoes in a Badger State lake, including one boat that dates back to 2500 BC. The findings were announced in a press release by the Wisconsin Historical Society on May 23rd. The canoes were found in Lake Mendota, which is located outside of Madison. The Wisconsin Historical Society explained that 2 ancient canoes were found in a cache in the lake in 2021. Go back to that. Let me show you again. Since then, historians have found at least 11 other ancient canoes, along with what they believe was an ancient shoreline that became submerged over time. Not all the canoes will be removed from the lake due to their fragility. Makes sense? In an interview with Fox News Digital on Wednesday, state archaeologist for the Wisconsin Historical Society, Dr. Amy Rosenbrough, explained the significance of the discovery. The indigenous peoples of Wisconsin and the wider United States fished, traveled, and traded extensively on inland lakes and streams, and until now, we had not a clear look at the canoes used in the Great Lakes region. To put it in modern terms, it's like trying to understand life in the Midwest without ever seeing a real pickup truck in person. Canoes also allowed people to fish in deeper lakes, transport goods over hundreds of miles, and travel to faraway places. Roseboro added that they believe an ancient village site is located under the waters, although it has not been found yet. Divers have found stone tools in the water, and experts believe that the lake is filled with other hidden sites. Very cool. Here's some of the other stuff. I can zoom in a little bit that they're finding. Here's another one, part of kind of a canoe that they found. And yeah, the dating of this is what has been so kind of fascinating to see. We've never found anything like this old that shows us a little bit more about the life and occupation of these people. And we're getting some more hypotheses in the chat about what's going on. And we got, Jen over here saying the canoes are made by aliens. We also got Professor What that's saying he's not saying it's aliens, but it was aliens. Whatever. I mean, it's all good, right? So anyway, yeah, you can see them working on it. These old canoes still made better than today's stuff. Am I right? I think so. All right. Thanks again to everybody for being here. It's been a long time, months, almost years probably since the last History Live show. This is a format. If this is something you guys like, I will continue doing it. So I'm here for you guys. Now that it's summertime and I got a little bit more time to be able to do some more live stuff and stuff outside of gaming as well, that is something I want to do. As long as you all want to see it. But it's fun to be reminded, that history and everything we know about history it's always changing, right? Like science, and history is like a science in the fact that new evidence makes us change our hypotheses. And that's one of the fun things, that there's always stuff to be able to learn. All right, with that, we are going to go back to our reporter out on the field, Craig Strong, who is reporting to us from the wild outdoors. Craig, take it away.
To Craig's survival tips for the woods. My name's Craig. I'm a survivor man. It is my goal to teach you the skills it takes to conquer the unforgiving wilderness. If you're stuck out in the woods, you just have to remember one word. Survive. If you're going to survive out in the wild, you've got to find something to eat. Now, some barks you can actually get nutrition from. This is one of them. And what you're going to want to do is just get some of the barks off like this with your knife. Hopefully you have a better knife than this. Okay, I've cut myself. Mom!
For crying out loud, what did you do?
Oh, God.
What did you do?
It's pretty serious.
What? There's nothing wrong with it, Craig.
There's layers.
Craig,
There's layers before it starts bleeding.
no.
Get me inside. Get me in the bathroom.
Oh, for crying out. Get over here. Let me clean it out. I can't see it. Stop acting like a... Stop it.
The water is
Oh,
too
don't
hot.
be ridiculous.
Now you're burning me
I'm
with the
cleaning
water. Another thing you may want to do in the woods is climb a tree real quick if you're being attacked by a bear or something.
Wait, what?
Put this on it.
Oh,
Put alcohol.
I'll get a Band-Aid. I'll get it.
You've got to get the bacteria out.
Oh,
I think I pulled my groin. If you pull your groin, make some sort of splint. Make sure you do something to stabilize your groin.
stand up. Craig,
You're making it worse.
stand up. You are such a baby. Where's the Band-Aid? Did you use up all the Band-Aids?
Thanks, Craig.
Next time on Craig Vs. Wild.
Thank you, Craig, for those survival tips. Now back to the news. A new finding in the jungles is a previously missing World War II plane. On the jungle's explorers find a missing World War II plane that crashed into the jungle. Many World War II historians regard Richard Bong as America's top ace in the war. The fighter pilot is credited with shooting down 40 Japanese planes during the war. However, what happened to his plane has remained a mystery for decades until now. Bong loved planes, and he loved his girlfriend, Marge. He loved Marge so much that he painted her face on his P-38 before it crashed into the jungles of Papua New Guinea more than 80 years ago. From that point forward, its existence very much remained a mystery. Terry Loomberg, president of the board of directors of the Bong Center, said, Bong Center sounds like drugs. Lieutenant Thomas Malone was the pilot that day that the plane went down. He bailed out and survived. From then on, it became a mission to find the plane with Marge's face. A few months ago, the Bong Center reached out to the Pacific Rex, a group that works to solve World War II mysteries. This has been an incredible journey, an incredible expedition, Justin Talon with Pacific Rex said. Traveling from Madang province, Talon and his crew talked about working with locals and hiking through jungles before they finally caught a break. When we located the crash site, it was an amazing experience, he said. The plane had been found in a jungle ravine. It hit the ground so hard that most of its engines were buried in the dirt, but the red paint of the P-38 Marge plane was identified. As they dug further, the crews finally found the serial number, leaving no doubt that it was Bong's plane. The emotion I felt was not just of my joy, but imagining what this means to the Bong family. In the audience for the Zoom press conference was Bong's 99-year-old sister, Gary Fechtelkotter, who said that she'd love to bring a part of March home. It's great we know it's been found. We saw pictures of it, so we knew it's the right one. It's great to know that it's been discovered, she said. Bong died during a test flight in the United States when he was just 24 years old. Very cool find out in the jungles of Papua New Guinea. In interesting news, the British military has now shrunk down to its lowest levels since the Napoleonic era. Reported here by the Telegraph. The number of British Army troops has fallen below 73,000 for the first time since the Napoleonic era. Official government figures show that there are now just 72,510 full-time trained soldiers ready for deployment. It comes after Ben Wallace, the former defense secretary, announced in 2021 that the Army would be reduced to 72,500 personnel by 2025, scrapping the 82,000 target, which had been set in 2015. All three military services have been struggling to recruit and retain personnel in recent years. In response to the figures, the Labour Party accused the Conservative Party of being deeply negligent of the UK's security. Oops. Let me get this. Whoops, sorry, go back here. Now, here's my big fear about this. All right, you guys. The last time that we had numbers this low, all right, we had Napoleon. The next Napoleon, I think, has just been waiting for this. They've been waiting for those troops to get down to the size of the new Napoleon's, ancestor, Mr. Napoleon Bonaparte I, and they're just waiting to make that claim again. There's a new European empire and potential emperor that is just waiting right now, and this might be their moment. There could be a new Napoleon. But interesting that their army has, their military has never been down to that size. All right, taking a break from the current history going on. Now let's talk about this day in history. On this day in history, in 1943, the Zoot Suit riots, you may have learned about in your history classes. It began on this day in history, June 3rd of 1943. They were known with those cool suits. You see these things right here. So on June 3rd, 1943, a group of sailors marched downtown
Our Harriman
Los
Emergency
Angeles.
Center is open 24/7 to
Shut
treat
up.
your family's needs.
Shut up. Talking about zoot suits. Get out of here, doctor. On June 3rd, 1943, a group of U.S. sailors marches through downtown Los Angeles, carrying clubs and other makeshift weapons, and attacking anyone wearing a zoot suit, the baggy wool pants, oversized coats, and pork pie hats favored by many young men of color at the time. Over the next week, the so-called zoot suit riots spread throughout the city, including the largely Mexican-American neighborhood of East Los Angeles and the largely black neighborhood of Watts. The riots marked the culmination of simmering racial tensions in Los Angeles, set against the backdrop of World War II. That was on this day in history. All right, and back to the news. Which we're actually out of right now. All right, you guys. That is today's recent historical discoveries I've now broadcast to you guys. We'll see how these findings, are going to change history, because history, again, is always changing. It truly is. I thank you all again for being here. Make sure you subscribe to the channel so you know when stuff is happening. Subscribing will also let you know when live streams like this are happening. If you'd like to get early access and to videos, you may be interested in becoming a channel member. Click that join button if you're watching Mr. Terry History. But again, thanks to everyone that has come on. We had another super chat pop in. Thank you, Jen. Interview Frankie on his thoughts. Frankie, what do you think of the Zoot Suit riots? He's staring blankly from his bed. Why are you also laying down on my shirt? Of all the places you could lay down, you're laying on my shirt, my white shirt that will now have your hair on it. Instead of that whole bed over there, you are sitting right there. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. All right. Thanks again to everyone for chiming in today. Let me know what you thought. If you have any final thoughts, talk about it. Q&A to wrap up the show. But tell me what you thought of the findings today. And we'll see what chat's saying right now. Yes, be sure to join us in the Discord. Here's a link right now if you want a screenshot. Also, a link will be in the description as well as in the chat. If you are looking on Mr. Terry History right now, you will be seeing that down below, where you will come and you can hang out with us. If you also have video suggestions for me to do reaction or commentary on, make sure you put that into the Discord as well. It's the best place to find it. I know a lot of people will put comments into YouTube videos. You got to understand, I have almost 700 YouTube videos, so it's impossible for me to catch up and keep tabs on all the comments over there. So best place to do that is over on Discord. If you have anything like that, if you have any news, any other cool news, like the stuff that we shared today, make sure to share that over on the Discord as well. It's the best place that you can get stuff to my eyeballs. No hat today. I should show you guys. Oh shoot, it's not here. Okay, you know the hat, right? So this is the go-to. This is the goat, this hat. Now it's very gross now. This thing is like 5 years old. Look how gross it is. Look at this. I just got a brand new version of this same exact hat. This is the old one, but I do have it. It's downstairs. Okay. But yes, I will see a nice new fresh hat. I don't know if I should like auction off the OG hat that's become famous. It's even in Twitter, oversimplified lore now. My hats, right? And this is this is the old one. I mean, this is the original. Okay, so I don't know. Maybe I could sell it for charity or something like that. Tinfoil hat, yeah, tinfoil hat is going to be useful for, when we get back to conspiracy stuff, like when we're watching Lemino. Yeah, I don't know. What's the best way to clean like a hat like this? Do I just throw it in the washing machine? I mean, it's gross. Look at this. But I love it. It's like perfectly. Don't you think doesn't it look like a good fit though? Like on my head? This hat is literally, my hats are, and this one especially, is literally in like oversimplified lore now. Should this be the fit for my History Live show? Like, I got to wear a shirt and tie. You know what I mean? Does it need to have the hat as well? Does that fit the, like, I don't know. Would that like be my image? Any thoughts on that? The hat makes you look tough. Oh, okay. I mean, I am very slowly. My hairline is kind of receding. I'm getting a little bit of that right now. I heard you should dry it on an upside down pot. You mean put the hat upside down on a pot? Like you put like that? An upside down pot, you can't really put. I don't know. That's killing me. No tie, no shirt, just hat. Shirtless Terry. Okay, that's for the other show I need to do. All right. But it would be premium content, okay? If you ever wondered what would it be like for OnlyFans, Mr. Terry, the Mr. Terry OnlyFans. All right. Now, what would be going on over there? Because that's some premium content. Hot tub history. Hot tub history. Now, with that show, that would be a live show in the hot tub with other historians and history-minded people, you know, and so many of us are older. We're not in very good shape. We're overweight. We probably are got hair in places, people, you know, hairy chests and stuff. Just some horribly unattractive people chilling in a hot tub, you know, talking history. You know, we bring on some historical researcher. Come on in. Welcome into the hot tub today, Dr. Whatever. And he comes in, he's got a big old gut and splash into the splash into the hot tub. And then we talk about the new findings that are coming from the Battle of the Somme or something. You know what I mean? So yeah, now see, that would be very premium content. That might have to create an OnlyFans account for that hot tub history. So anyway, if I wasn't broke, I'd pay for it. Not gonna lie. Anyway, all right. Any other comments, questions, anything for today's stream? Our stream ended on Instagram. Instagram only lets you stream for an hour. It's kind of lame. And then I keep having all kinds of problems with the Facebook. Oh my gosh. That thing has been so hard to try to stream on. Anthony, another $5 super chat. Would you visit the Red Bank Battlefield in National Park, New Jersey? That would be very cool. I'd like to go back. I used to live in New Jersey, and when I was a kid, I was little, and yeah, I need to get back to the East Coast, and you know, yeah, definitely check that out. Anthony, are you going to be the tour guide or something like that? Will you be my tour guide? Thank you so much. You've donated like $15 to the stream today, or to the channel. I really, really appreciate that. Thank you so much, Anthony. All right, Sky Shark Gaming had a question. Says, what's your favorite historical event to teach and discuss? Yours is Pearl Harbor. Oh, yeah, in my classes, you know what I actually really like to teach is World War I. Because students, kids, I don't care who you are, you're 15, 16-year-old, you know, you've heard about World War II. Very few of them that can actually tell you about World War I. And it's such an interesting thing to discuss because it's like you can have a long discussion after you've taught it and have a long one that lasts a whole period or two of, hey, why did World War I happen? And boy, you could go on forever. And it's a fun thing to be able to discuss and talk about. So I actually really like teaching World War I. That's probably my favorite thing. Because World War II, okay, I've said this before, World War II is very easy to learn and teach and talk about. It's very cut and dry, right? Here's what happens. Here are the causes. Here are the characters. Here are their motivations. When we talk about World War I, it is a completely different discussion. And it is debatable. It brings in a whole bunch of new things that have never been seen in the history of warfare. And it really kind of gets some of the kids excited. I really like it. That's something I really, really like to do. Canadian history? Absolutely not. Nope. Nice try. All right. Anyway, my parents live 5 minutes away from the spot where Washington crossed the Delaware. Every Christmas they do a reenactment of it. Is it actually kind of dangerous though? Like that was like the big thing is the British definitely did not expect that. I mean, first it was on Christmas and like, who's going to do this? Something stupid like this on Christmas, right? General crosses it with the Hessians, bunch of German mercenaries or whatever. It's slaughtering people in their sleep on Christmas. But the idea of crossing like that in Delaware, crossing the Delaware in the middle of winter was pretty crazy. Yeah, it was pretty crazy. World War I could also be known as a bad family reunion. Absolutely. That's always something fun to talk about. So when we talk about the decorations of war, it's always fun that after I say, hey, and guess what? And we show them I'll show them the telegram, the telegrams between Nicholas and between Wilhelm. And it's fun that I tell them, the students, they're cousins. Oh, and who are they cousins, with, or who are they, who are they related to? Oh, the old Queen of England. And it's just like, it makes it so much, more funny from that. So anyways, I can tell you from personal experience, never drive over that bridge unless you want to scrape your car or another car. Is it just like a weird bridge, badly shaped bridge that's not very good for cars? Yeah, Willie and Nikki. And I'll show them the letters. So there's those telegrams back and forth that week, kind of as the days leading up to the war declarations. And yeah, it's like, dear Willie, like you need to tell the Austrians to back down from the Serbians. And then you get to like you get the letter back and it's like, well, dear Nikki, I can't have them back down, the Austrians back down while you're mobilizing your army. And then it goes back and it's like, well, dear Nikki, I can't demobilize if you can't tell the Austrians to back down. It's just this like circular conversation that happens. And yeah, that's it's kind of fun. And then you talk about how it's, basically a family affair that way. So anyway, thanks again. All right, then. A little shout out tomorrow. So tomorrow, I'm going to be on the gaming stream. I have kind of set up with a couple other streamers. Going to be streaming the new upcoming final DLC for Destiny 2. And we're going to be streaming that over on Mr. Terry Gaming. Probably see if I can get over on Twitch too, but definitely on Mr. Terry Gaming. I'm trying to rebuild the Mr. Terry Gaming channel. It was inactive for months, and because of that, it lost its memberships and monetization and all that stuff. And I got to build it back up. So hopefully you guys can hang out with me over on Mr. Terry Gaming. You're going to want to sub to that because it's basically going to be live streams. And if you're not subbed, YouTube really will not tell you when live streams begin. So Mr. Terry Gaming, just put that up on YouTube. Go to the description of this video. Maybe Mod will put Mr. Terry Gaming down. But I plan on doing that. I don't know if we're going to start about this time tomorrow, but we'll be doing some live streaming, some gaming. So, all right. And then we got a super chat. Oh, another one from Anthony, who's dropped $20 today. Said, speaking of, the Red Bank Battlefield does an 18th century day every October 22nd, where they do a reenactment at the end. I've never been to a reenactment, like historical reenactments or anything. I've never seen one. I've never been to one. I don't even know if there's any around like my area. If any of you been to those, are they cool? Are they like cringe? You know what I mean? Like, I feel like it could go either way. It could like be kind of cool, but I also feel like the cringe factor could be like very high. But I don't know. Anybody ever been to that kind of thing? Let me know. Thanks again, Anthony, for supporting the channel. Really, really appreciate that. Thanks to everyone that's been watching, whether you dropped a super chat or not. I really appreciate your support there. For what I understand, it's hardcore history buffs who really get into it. Yeah, I'm sure. And do you like pick like the side you reenact? And I'm talking about these basically in all like all the different type of reenactments. Okay, yeah, like American Revolution or whatever. But Civil War reenactors I know are big. So like if you're up in the north, like are there people that are like, I volunteer to be the Confederates? You know what I mean? Like, or do they just assign you your deal? Like, okay, you're the drummer boy. Here you go. I'd actually like to be that dude. I would be like just playing pure fire, walking into the battlefield. That's the role I would want to do. Dude, I bet Chris from Vlogging Through History has done that. He seems like he would be a Civil War reenactor. I got to believe that they have him in Ohio. Friend of the channel. I'm going to bring him on. When he comes back, he's heading back to Europe. We're going to come back on again. I think I should get him for a history live show. I think he would enjoy that. I might have to do that next time. Would you guys like that? Would you like to see me do another history live show with Chris from Blogging Through History. Yeah, drumming some sick beats before the battle with a DB fire. Dude, you're just like, and then just like bullets are flying by. Dude next to his head blows up, but you're just continuing the freaking beat. You know what I mean? That would be sick. That's the one I would. That's the one I would do. I'd buy a new drum for it because I like to play the drums, and I would do it. So we're good, Jen. All right, guys, I think we're going to go ahead and wrap it up tonight. I got some stuff still to do. I need to get to work on another video. I don't remember which one I was going to cover tonight. Oh, something to look out for that I've been doing more, by the way, is polls for some of the videos. So I get suggested so many videos, right? I can't go through them all. I can't get to them all. So what I'll do is pick like 3-4 videos from the suggestions on Discord, throw them up in a poll, put it up for a few days, and then I'll react to, one of them. So I need to set that up. Maybe I'll set one up here after the stream, and I'll put that up. So look up for that. Again, if you're subscribed to the channel, you're going to find that a lot easier. But on the community page, if you go to Mr. Terry, just the like my account, go to the community page, there are polls and stuff that I put up there. And yeah, you can find that. And that just, it's a way to interact with the channel, and also, do your little part to get videos of topics that you might be interested in a little bit more to the forefront. All right, but I think with that, guys, I think we're going to wrap this up for the night. Let me go ahead and get our outro stuff going on. I think we're going to end as we always do. If you know it, type it in chat. We're going to end the way we always do. Let me pull it up. It's here. It's time. We got to build it. It's not a wall. It's the flag. Good night, everybody. We will see you very soon. I hope you all have a great evening. Thank you so much for hanging out with me tonight. And we'll see you later. Bye.
We need to build the flag, protect our borders now. No entry from land or ocean. They keep taking our jobs, that's why we'll build the flag. Big American Army #2. Ooh. Big country, land of free, Statue of Liberty. She's calling at anyone who arrives illegally. Please build the flag. We've got to build the flag. It will protect our borders, save our jobs. We'll build it up. We're gonna make America big and strong. We'll build the flag, and then the government will be profitable. We've got to build the flag. Donald Trump always says we've got to build the flag. He's working hard for our nation. The stars and stripes pave the way, and Mexico will pay to assemble the flag. Yeah. Oh. During the sporting games, athletes should build the flag. Kids build the flag at school. Could be a law or rule. Stand up for what is right. Let's build the flag tonight. Say for more unity. Stardust who need us, country. Please build the flag. We've got to build the flag. It will protect our borders, save our jobs. We'll build it up. We're gonna make America big and strong. We'll build the flag, and then the government will be profitable. We've got to build the flag. We've got to build the flag. It will be good fortunes, create more cars. We'll build it up. We're gonna defeat ISIS using flag. We'll build the flag. Our parts of flag should be American made. We've got to build the flag.
It's Hot Dad here.